Of this Academy Premier League Cup game. John Donovan alongside Thomas Hopkins this afternoon. Cardiff City against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we should be in for a very good game. In terms of team lineups, well, there's a smattering of names. Well, all the names are not just Cardiff City fans, of course, but there's certain names that obviously stand out. Running through the Bluebirds team from 1 to 11. Matt Turner at 1, 2 is Aidan McNamara, 3 Tom Davis, 4 1 Sean Morrison, 5 Curtis Nelson, 6 Cameron Answee, 7 Jade Semenyo, 8 and captain Owen Pritchard, good to see him back, recovering from a long-term injury, 9 Isaac Davis, good to see him back also, 10 is Jack Lee, 11 is Morgan Wigley. On the bench, Gabriel Biancheri, Jacob Dennis, Jack Clay, Isaac Jeffries and Kyle Hennifer. We will get you through the Wolves team momentarily. Apologies to those tuning in from a Wolves perspective. We will come to that in the first break of play. Doesn't like getting a new team today, so we will kick off with Cardiff playing from left to right in the Waterloo. They play a long diagonal to the right-hand side, which is easily cut out. We expect to be very good on their toes to make their first transition into the Cardiff half. Nelson clears away. Jeffries will chase, but it's very well dealt with by Cam Candola. Back to goalkeeper Andreas Sundergaard, and he rolls out to the right-hand side as Wolves look to play between the lines. They get it to Zanzi He, who will lead the line wearing the number 9 shirt. Nice ball into the channel as the linesman flag going up. Well, it does, rather delayed. Referee will allow play to go on as Matt Turner claims. So that Wolves team 1 to 11, Andreas Sundergaard, Marv Kaleta, Aaron Keto Diawa, Dylan Sikluma, Philosoph Mabetwes 5, 6 is Cam Candola, 7 is Fabian Reynolds, 8 Fraser Harper, 9 Zenu He, as we'll break off as Wolves are in. It needs a great save from Turner. Follow up on goal, cleared off the line by Nelson. Wolves have started fast. And they recycle the ball now from the right-hand side. They are quick, they are on their toes, and they're showing their class. Great ball into the box. Morrison deals with it, but a secondary chance. Well, fortunately for Cardiff City, it's mishit by, well, I think it's number 8, the man I was just getting to in the team lineup, Fraser Harper. 9 is Zanu He, 10 is Jack Hodnett, and 11 is Lee Harkin. A let-off for Cardiff City, to say the least. And we're only just through 90 seconds as Cardiff look to play out from the back. They go long, but that's overhit, and Wigley can't get onto the end of that. Cardiff, you'd imagine, won't see a great deal of the ball, so we'll have to play on the break. So Wolves come again down their right-hand side. Well won by Pritchard in midfield. Lee keeps the ball moving. This is Wigley. Wigley takes it down the line. That's a good turn of pace. Can he keep it in? He can. Now he can attack the box. Only one man to aim for, who's Davis. Wigley tries to get it across. Good tackle. Corner kick to Cardiff City, but a very impressive burst of pace there by Morgan Wigley. And after surviving a scare, Cardiff are now in the game.
It's been a good counter-press, I must say, from Cardiff City. And, you know, as you said, JP, they've really tried to catch them out on the break there, haven't they? Plenty of pace, it seems, up front for City between Wigley and Davis.
So that will be a corner kick to Cardiff City, which Lee will take. In swinger, Morrison gets there. We've said that before. Just over the bar on this occasion, but immediate presence in that box there from Sean Morrison.
That's the kind of presence that he offers, isn't it? Similar for Nelson, it must be said.
Sean Morrison, of course, has played a couple of times recently for this underage squad. Last time we saw him in a senior game for Cardiff City was that away trip at Barnsley, if memory serves, where unfortunately injury curtailed his season. And for a moment, one thought perhaps his Cardiff City career, but he's here, he's playing, and he's trying to show his worth, not just to Darren Pearce, but to Mark Hudson also. Cardiff momentarily down to 10 men as Aidan McNamara has to go off. I think it's an equipment or kit issue more than anything. He's back on now, and Cardiff are up to their full complement. What are you expecting today, Tom? Are you expecting Wolves to have the majority of possession? Are you expecting them with the Category 1 status in their academy to try and dictate this?
I think you're right. I mean, they've they've been on good form recently, Wolves as well. It must be said, in this tournament they're unbeaten so far, 2 from 2. No doubt they'll be wanting to make it 3 from 3 this afternoon. I think City, we've done well so far. It's been a bit back and forth, hasn't it? It's not been entirely up to the visitors on the ball.
Semenyo will take the throw in dead on half line. Goes down the line looking for Davis. Davis can't make a challenge, but his presence is enough to force another throw in. So Cardiff have made ground. Nice throw by Semenyo looking for Lee. Just looking at Cardiff, whether it's a 4-2-3-1 formation. So it's free kick to Wolves. See how they set up now, Cardiff defending from this set piece, as Wolves will have a free kick on the edge of the centre circle inside their own half. Oh, no, actually, my apologies, it is a wing-back formation. Semenyo playing from left wing-back despite wearing the number 11 shirt. Tom Davis playing... Semenyo playing right wing back, Tom Davis playing left wing back. There's a false start on that free kick, so we will go again. Nice conditions here at Cardiff International Sports Stadium this afternoon. It's dry, there's a slight breeze, but nothing too drastic. Surface looks good, we should be set for a good game as Wolves play into the left-hand attacking channel. As well, marshalled there by McNamara. Should be a throw to the away side. Is. Referee wasn't entirely sure for a moment. I think he got the decision right. And it's Keto Diawa with the throw. It goes back for a first-time cross into the box. It is going to drift to the keeper. Not a bad idea there from Jack Codnett.
Didn't really know where it was going to swing, did we? Fortunately, Matt Turner switched onto it.
Cardiff look to play out again, although that's quickly closed. Cardiff having a throw in midway inside their own half. The Wolves manager at this level is down as James Collins. I don't think it's that James Collins or indeed that other James Collins. Darren Pearce, of course, in the technical area for Cardiff City. Throw down the line, well won by Mabeti. Cardiff will have another throw as the game just has a lot of stop-start in the last couple of moments after that early goal scoring or couple of goal scoring chance for Wolves. Ball is back with Turner. He gets height rather than a great deal of distance. It's well won in the air by Condola. Morrison returns the compliment and Wigley will chase down. And the presence of Wigley, who was on his toes there, is enough to force a throw in for the Bluebirds. Again, midway inside their own half, which Nelson will look to take. He goes down the line. It's flicked on by Davis. Tom looking for Isaac on that occasion, but a little too far away from Isaac Davis. It's a good win there by McNamara, strong in the air. That's a loose touch from Cadola, which will allow Cardiff to make ground and have a throw in midway inside the Wolves half. And after an early scare, Tom, looks like Cardiff City have just settled into this.
Seemingly, yeah. I mean, worth noting as well, the Wolves have made a couple of errors here, haven't they? It was fairly an unforced error, gave us this throw in.
And inside to Pritchard. He lays it back to Nelson. Heavy first touch, but allows himself to run onto it. Keeps it going to Tom Davis. First time cross, blocked. Nelson is out of position now, but causes enough interference there that Cardiff can win the ball back and send it back to Turner, who gives it to McNamara. McNamara was off balance. Thankfully, the pass, though, will reach Semenyo. Semenyo, well, that came off him last. I don't think it was a foul. He slipped more than anything, so that will be a throw into Wolverhampton Wanderers. Of course, Wolves under new management at senior level, and I'm sure there'll be a watching interest in players playing today. Established Premier League club now after going up as champions the season that the Bluebirds finished second. Morrison will have to cover this run down the channel off. He does, and via the benefit of a block tackle one, Cardiff will get the throw in. McNamara sends down the line. Semenyo gets something on it, but it's turned over by Wolves, and they spread the game well. That was a nice outlet pass by Dylan Skikluma there. Strong tackle, which Tom Davis goes into. The ball will go out for a goal kick, and just got ever so messy, Tom, and I wonder whether that might just suit Cardiff City.
I think you might well be right, to be honest. It's I think the more that we can disrupt their possession-heavy style, the better. If that means a bit of back and forth, then so be it, I think. Obviously, we've set up with wing-back, so it's, you know, defensively we should be more than capable of handling them, not to mention the experience that we have in the middle with Sean Morrison and Curtis Nelson.
Morrison up in an aerial duel, which he gets the better of. The pass from Antwi is a little loose. It'll come back to him. Hasn't really got a runner in front of him. He's trying to delay and delay for someone to hit the channel. Well, I thought Antwi did okay there. There was nothing on. He tried to hold on to the pass, but there was nothing clear that he could hit. And it will be a goal kick to Wolves, which Sundergaard will take. Cardiff with that reasonably high block, high press. Two forward players and Lee behind, and Lee will go over and cause a commotion now, and indeed wins the throw-in for Cardiff City. And Jack Lee does that awfully well. Does a lot of work without the ball, leading from the front. And that was a good press from the Bluebirds.
Yeah, it really was. You know, it's promising, isn't it, that we're able to press as well we are this early on.
Nice turn by Wigley. Tries to play it around the corner, but didn't get enough on it. And now Wolves can look to break through Reynolds, but that's taken off him well by Davis. And that's a nice triangle of passing in midfield. Pritchard moving it quickly to Tom Davis. Really keen to see Pritchard in this midfield position. Before his injury, I thought he was an excellent, mainly fullback I saw him at. And I know his dad will be watching and very proud about how he's recovered from the injury. He started well in midfield, wearing the captain's armband.
He's done well. It looks like he's kind of marshalling how the position's going at the moment. He's always got his hands up if he's not got the ball, pointing, instructing his teammates.
It's good from McNamara, just getting his body between man and ball, seeing it out. We're through almost 12 minutes. 0-0 if you're just joining us. John Donovan alongside Tom Hopkins. Wolves have had the best chance, perhaps should have scored, but after that chance within the first 90 seconds, Cardiff have settled into this and are more than matching Wolverhampton Wanderers at the moment, and they have a throw in on that left-hand side midway inside the Wolves half. Davis will take, Tom Davis that is. Isaac Davis is looking down the line, but it goes short to Lee. That was good movement into Antwi. Good ball protection, very good in fact. He finds Pritchard. Pritchard tried to get enough whip on it to turn it into the corner for Semenyo. I think it actually took a deflection off a Wolves player. It did indeed, so that'll be a corner kick to Cardiff City, and that was nicely worked from the Bluebirds from that throw-in. Lee and Antwi involved. Nice movement of the ball from left to right there.
Yeah, it really was. It's quite incisive, isn't it? And Owen Pritchard, you know, that pass didn't come off quite the way he wanted, but he still won a corner kick from it. Certainly no complaints from the captain.
Davis will come from left wing back to take this corner, left-footed, in-swinger. And you imagine Sean Morrison is the obvious target. Davis is a drill ball. It's actually towards the far post. It's just over the head of McNamara. What a terrible delivery. Cardiff only had one man around the far post. It was over the head of McNamara, and it'll be a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
have it on the replay. Slightly overhit it, isn't he? I'd like to think maybe if Sean Morrison was at the back post, it might have gone a bit differently, but
Wolves forced to go long. Morrison looking to tidy up, but he loses his balance there, and Wolves are in behind with Harkin. Can he square the ball? That's good covering from Nelson. It needed to be, because Reynolds was there looking for a cutback anywhere towards the 6-yard box. You can imagine Sean Morrison just feeling a little rusty at the moment after almost 12 months out. I think it was around February time, that Barnsley game, if memory serves. Just got his footing all wrong there, but it was good covering from Nelson to give Wolves this throw-in. Semenyo gets in there to clear away, and Lee gets something on it. Pritchard wins a header, turns it forward to Wigley. Intelligent touch, but it just went away from Lee. Cardiff, no matter though, they pick up the ball. Here's Isaac Davis. Lovely weight on that ball to find Tom Davis. And he's a first-time ball. In fact, Antwi might have been offside, so perhaps Davis was showing some good sense there. But again, lovely incisive break through the middle of the park by Cardiff City.
Terrific passing, isn't it, once again? It's a good counter-attack, and Tom Davis, as you said, just showed good judgment there not to risk the trigger in the offside trap.
Davis to Lee, back to Davis. To Isaac Davis now, who spins and twists, tries to cross in. It's cleared away by Condola there. Ball back into the area. Semenyo gets something on it, but goes well wide of the goal. That's behind for a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Just a couple of dates for your diary. If you can get down to Swansea.com Stadium tomorrow, you might well see a Bluebirds win. Cardiff City women there tomorrow, and looking to cement their position at the top of the table. And of course, next Saturday, the senior men's side return after the World Cup break as they travel to face Stoke City. Coverage, of course, on Cardiff City TV. Davis will look to press, but that's a nice first-time ball that will set Harper away. Harper drives and gives it to Reynolds. Reynolds will bring it back on his left foot. Back in, lovely goal, absolutely beautiful. Harper to Reynolds, back to Harper. Well, it was a delayed 1-2, but it was a gorgeous 1-2. That cross from Reynolds, he knew exactly what he was doing, not just looking to put it into an area, but to specifically pick out Harper. Harper, touch and hit. Turner had no chance, and that was quality from Wolves.
Yeah, it really was. We'll get the replay up here. It's right down the middle, isn't it?
Harper's allowed to drift into an area there, Tom, which perhaps he shouldn't have. There was a lot of time for Reynolds on that cross, and as a result, there was a lot of time for Cardiff to get men around Harper, but they didn't do that.
No, it's unfortunate. You know, back to it now, though, isn't it? We need to find an equaliser.
So Cardiff, after being reasonably steady and sturdy through the opening 17 minutes, now find themselves a goal down as Nelson goes from left to right. Nice ball, finding Semenyo. Semenyo's touch inside is just a little heavy. Morrison takes it on the chest, turns it back to McNamara. And sweep back to McNamara. Really was an incisive move, a beautiful move. Those two players combining, Harper and Reynolds. But you look at the delay on the cross from Harper, which was an excellent pick out, I should say, but the delay on that cross, how did Cardiff not get a body somewhere around Harper? Darren Pearce will not be happy with that. It's cool goalkeeping there from Sandergaard. Wolves look to play a long ball. Nelson will open up his body and take that comfortably, giving it back to Turner. Turner, first-time ball to Davis. Good goalkeeping at that end too. Releases Davis, Tom Davis, who started the game well. And so we're always looking to receive the ball. Credit to him for that. Links with McNamara. McNamara makes some ground. Tries to feed it down the line. It's cut out. Ball has gone. We don't need VAR for that. And that'll be a throw into Cardiff City just inside the Wolves' half. Semenyo goes long. Wigley puts his man under pressure. Cardiff will get another throw in, 4 or 5 yards further forward. Do Cardiff have enough experience and guile up top to break open this Wolves team? Here's Wigley, good first touch, but he's muscled out of it on that occasion. And that's a nice release ball. Wolves are finding those release balls now, and when they do, it means they've broken the press and they have space. And this is good again, although that first time ball from goal scorer Harper meant for Reynolds. Didn't find the target on that occasion. That's a very, very strong tackle by MATCHDAY. Fair, nothing wrong with it at all. One of those tackles that, as a centre-half, you love to make. Isaac Davis has to pick himself up and dust himself down. Lee comes short, but it's a loose touch, and that ball's turned over. And Wolves can come again. They only have one man to hit in the box. Morrison blocks the attempted cross, and actually, via the benefit of deflection, Cardiff will get the throw in also. And if you are just joining us this afternoon, welcome along to Cardiff City TV, to Cardiff International Sports Stadium, and this Academy Premier League Cup game. It is Wolves who have the advantage. 1-0, a nice goal scored by Fraser Harper. Cardiff have worked hard so far, but haven't created anything clear-cut. Probably a Sean Morrison header, the most obvious sight of goal. How will the Bluebirds respond? Davis holds the ball up and is manhandled enough that the referee judges that to be a foul. Cardiff will get a free kick just inside the Wolves' half. Antwi gives it to Nelson. Back to Antwi. Credit to Antwi. He is always looking to take that ball on the half turn. Hasn't been able to be incisive as yet, but never judge a player who wants to get on the ball and wants to try and make things happen. That's nice through the lines. Here's Isaac Davis. This is better from Cardiff. Semenyo's in space if Davis wants to get his head up. Instead, he tries to take the shot on, and why wouldn't you with a shot like that? Great effort. Cut across the box, back against the grain, and that needed a good right-hand fingertip save there from Andreas Sandergaard. The best moment of the match from Cardiff City so far. Lovely couple of passes between the lines. So you can watch it again on the replay.
It's a terrific show of confidence, isn't it, from Isaac Davis? You wouldn't really know, having taken on a shot like that, this is his first game back from injury. Connects sweetly with it as well. Forces a good save in the end.
Lee will take the corner. It's decent, but it's well met by MATCHDAY. Cardiff look to recycle second ball. Morrison heads on. Davis is on his toes. He'll put the defender under pressure, but it's well marshalled there by Candola. Cardiff, though, have a chance. They are in the game. And as Tom says, good confidence from Isaac Davis. Thought he might have kept the ball moving to the right-hand side. He's a striker. He wants to score goals. He wants to impress Mark Hudson and get into that senior first team as quickly as possible. Took the shot on, and it forced a very good save from Sandergaard. Seeing that replay again. Always tough when the goalkeeper's going one way and then has to throw his balance back the other way. It's a good save, but promising signs for Isaac Davis. Ball into the channel. Wigley should reach that with his pace. Does. Now needs to protect and for people to join. Tries to find Semenyo. Cardiff should get the benefit of that ball as Pritchard tidies it up and goes back to McNamara. Cardiff maybe just looking a little bit more confident, ironically, since conceding the goal. Nelson keeps it going to Davis. Davis has to take it on the stretch, forces him a little wider than perhaps he wanted. Back to Nelson. Nelson to Davis. Did he come back from an offside position? Linesman's flag stays down, so Cardiff can continue. Every Wolves player back in their half. Darren Pearce wants the ball moved a little quicker. Morrison goes to Davis. Davis, that'll be a little too far even for him to stretch for. And that'll be a throw into Wolves. And a slight delay. Referees, I think this is a neck chain issue. The referee's being a little overzealous on some of these equipment issues today. And it'll be Wolves momentarily down to 10 players. Well, oh, actually the referee is going to allow Wolves time, or the Wolves player time to make the necessary adjustments, I believe. Not quite sure what that was about. Looks like maybe a blood shirt has been put on, so maybe a few trickles of blood. Referee's got a better view than us. We are back underway again. Wolves back to their full complement of 11 players as McNamara wins that well. Ball is turned forward but cleared away by Mabet, and Candola, those two centre-halves. Athletic, fast, physical. It's going to be a good battle, a stern battle for Isaac Davis and Morgan Wigley.
Certainly looks that way, doesn't it, so far? I think they've done all right so far, haven't they, between them, Isaac Davis and Wigley. It's, well, obviously a physical challenge for them. Wigley in particular, you know, I think he's on the younger side of this squad.
It's a great run between the lines there from Pritchard, but the ball went diagonal. Thought Pritchard had broken the line well then. Semenya, a little bit of a loose touch, but it will find McNamara. Here's Antwi, gives it to Nelson. Cardiff have responded well from going a goal down. Ball forward, looking for that run of Pritchard again, and he gets there. Lung-bursting run. Haven't seen him play this midfield position too often, but been really impressed with him through the first 25 minutes. Looks like that archetypal box-to-box midfielder that you want.
It really seems that way, doesn't it? He's made a terrific run there. Just to draw his man with him as well. Opened up a nice bit of space and got on the end of the pass really well as well under a bit of pressure.
He's been out for over 12 months, I believe, but you wouldn't necessarily know it. Looks full of life. Wolves penned in their own half, but will have the throw in. No ball boys or ball girls here at the International Sports Stadium, so Fabian Reynolds, the creator of the opening goal, will have to go and retrieve the ball himself as a ray of sun falls on the pitch. Cardiff looking for a ray of light to get themselves back into this game, but certainly they've played well since going a goal behind. Wolves maybe just sitting in, a little bit of game management perhaps. McNamara, lovely ball to Davis. Davis has been very good as an aggressive left wing back. Isaac Davis feeds it back to Nelson. Nelson to Antwi. Antwi will look for the far post. Lee's up there, but good call. You could hear it from here from Sandergaard, and a good claim. Looks to be a very strong, steady goalkeeper at this level. Andreas Sandergaard took control of that situation, and that's what any defender wants. But again, not bad build-up play from the Bluebirds. McNamara and Semenya combined to get that into the Wolves' half. And it's turned over, and Lee will have a chance to drive outside. That was good from Lee. He took it to where the open space was, away from the man pursuing him. Pritchard, that time the ball wasn't great. Morrison, though, is there and will tidy up, giving it to McNamara. McNamara's under pressure, but cool as you like, gives it to Lee, to Pritchard. This is good from Cardiff. Semenya, he doesn't have an obvious release ball, and as a result concedes possession. Good from Antwi, read that. And now Pritchard can spread it to Tom Davis, just a little behind Davis, which means he had to just break his stride, but Cardiff will have the throw in. And I've got to say, Tom, I've been ever so impressed with the Bluebirds since going a goal down. They've responded very well.
It's a shame, isn't it, that it is a response to going down, that they've played so well. You know, the midfield, I think, has really linked up well over the last 5-10 minutes or so, and Tom Davis, you know, he seems to be really good at just winning balls with blocked shots and crosses, really.
It's Davis, Tom Davis, who will take the throw in. Goes back short to Nelson. Nelson will give it back to Davis. Crossing opportunity. Ball into the box. It's just taken off the head of Wigley, and now Wolves can potentially break. That's decent hold-up play by Zenuhi, but the ball had gone out. He couldn't keep it in, and Cardiff will have the throw in just inside their own half. It's very much a mid-block from Wolves since going a goal up. Interesting that they don't necessarily feel that they want to go on and exert their authority. A little cautious, perhaps. And Cardiff are seeing more and more of the ball getting towards that Wolves final third, and they have another throw in now. Should say, though, that apart from that one save from Sandergaard, Wolves haven't been unduly troubled. Ball is cleared away, almost into the Asda car park. Other supermarkets are available, of course. Here's Antwi again. Nice turn of the body. No, it's just nipped off him. Can he make a recovery tackle? He can. Again, I'm going to give him credit for always looking to be a player who gives an option. Sometimes it's a bit ragged. It's a nice ball into a channel, but it was good positioning there from McNamara, which meant Harkin couldn't get goal side of him. Yeah, Antwi, he's raw, but every time I see him, he wants to get on the ball and he wants to try and make things happen. And you can't really fault a player like that.
No, certainly not. And I think that, you know, he's essentially got a new teammate, hasn't he, in the midfield with him in Owen Pritchard. They haven't played much together. I imagine they've trained plenty over the last couple of months, however. But, you know, these kind of things, partnership, take time to develop, you'd think.
Nice touch from Morrison. Now he can come forward. We'll look to reverse the ball back to Davis. It's a lovely ball. They're looking to utilise Davis more and more. Wow, it's a cross-come shot that in the end will hit the side net. But it would appear for Cardiff City that ball to the left-hand side and the left wing-back Tom Davis is always on.
Yeah, they're definitely utilising them well, aren't they, David?
We've lost pictures momentarily. They will be coming back. There they are. It was just that was me standing on a cable there, I think. Anyway, you didn't miss anything. Out for a goal kick to Wolves. And we're over the half-hour mark now. 31.5 minutes gone. 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. A nice goal scored by Fraser Harper after good combination play with Fabian Reynolds. Wolves had a clear-cut chance inside the first minute. Cardiff's best chance, a shot from around about 25 yards from Isaac Davis, which forced a good save from Andreas Sandergaard. It's a relatively even game here at Cardiff International Sports Stadium, but of course the visitors will be delighted to have the lead. Cardiff now looking to force the issue. Long kick from Sandergaard. Cardiff could have let that one run perhaps, but Semenyo won the header. Pritchard makes a block tackle, but it will come the way of the gold shirts. Harkin tries to beat Semenyo on the outside. Good tackle from Semenyo. Wolves will have to throw in as they approach the edge of the Cardiff City penalty area. We haven't seen Wolves in the Cardiff half with any consistent play for a little while. It's a nice dummy and let the ball run by Keto Diawa. Cardiff, though, have won it back. Lee to Isaac Davis. He doesn't have an outlet ball. He's going to have to protect the ball. He does, and gives it to Pritchard. Pritchard, well, play will be brought back because Isaac Davis was fouled. And that was decent hold-up play from Isaac Davis. Knew he couldn't release the ball. There was nothing on, so he just looked to protect it, draw the foul, and he did just that.
Yeah, they're putting bodies around him straight away, aren't they, to try and just counter out any kind of, counter-attack from City. Two balls on the pitch at the same time there.
Sean Morrison stands over the free kick. We'll give it to Curtis Nelson. Nelson's done okay in this game so far, as you'd expect. He's a senior pro, of course, but has marshalled Cardiff pretty well. That ball down the line is going to run away from Wigley, so that'll be a goal kick to Wolves. Can Cardiff gain parity prior to half-time? Interesting to know what Darren Pearce thinks of his team's efforts in the opening half of 33 minutes thus far. There's been good moments, certainly. Sloppy goal conceded. Seems to me when I'm watching some of his motions and indications down on the touchline that he wants the ball moved a little bit quicker. Wolves move that ball into the right-hand attacking channel, but it's well dealt with by Tom Davies, who has been one of the standout players of the first half for Cardiff.
Very smart touch there from Davies, to be fair. He's took it away from his man.
Davies again, back to Nelson. Answe comes short, but Nelson will look for the long diagonal. Semenyo's not getting anywhere near that. Lee's touch is heavy. That'll be a throw into Wolves in front of the away dugout. Lee goes on the press. Cardiff turn the ball over. Is that a foul? Well, referee says no. Ball will run out for a goal kick. Tom Davies again, though, looking to activate and pick up the bits and pieces. And I wouldn't say he's necessarily fallen off the radar, but I can't remember which pre-season it was. The last one under Mick McCarthy. He seemed to be sort of getting more and more towards the first team. Well, it looks like he's sort of regained his form, his confidence. He's playing really well in this first half.
Yeah, he really has. I think there's been a couple of standout performances, you know, this first half from City, and I think in a way we are unfortunate for it not to be level.
Pritchard moves it forward. He's been good too. Wigley tries to turn it wide to Davies. The idea was good, but didn't come off. Here's Answe again, protects the ball well, gives it back to Morrison. And Morrison will give it to Nelson. Here's Tom Davies again. The ball's, well, he's a magnet for the ball right now. Inside to Lee. Morrison to McNamara. McNamara turns inside his man very well. Looks very composed on the ball. McNamara travels there, tries to feed it out to Davies. It's cut out. Davies comes in and claims for handball. Referee says no. So a little messy. That's a heavy touch from McNamara, and that will give Wolves a chance to break. They move the ball to He. He tries to cut it back across the edge of the area. Well won by Semenyo. Good covering tackle by Semenyo, getting his partner in crime there, McNamara, out of a bit of trouble. No harm, no foul for Cardiff City, and Wolves will have a throw-in midway inside the Bluebirds' half. Good tackle again from Semenyo. The Wolves are forced backwards, although they still have possession of the ball. They don't now. They try and force the issue a little bit too much, and it's back to Matt Turner, who clears high and long. Davies is beaten in the air, but Cardiff will get second ball. Semenyo's got a man on. I think everyone in the stadium was making that call. Ball is turned over there, and we couldn't thread the needle. Wolves have a player down. Let's see who it is. Is it Harkin? Can't quite see the shirt number, but I believe it's the number 11, Lee Harkin. Referee will blow the whistle as Harkin needs treatment. Strong tackle, I think, on that side by Semenyo. Fair tackle, but Harkin crumpled a little. Referee acknowledges that, and the Wolves player will get treatment as both sets of players come to the dugouts for a well-earned drink. See if we can spot what happened on that play. Harkin is the man chasing down Semenyo, and I think perhaps Semenyo, in playing the ball, kicks through him a little. No hint of a foul, of course, but that can be a painful one on a cold afternoon. It's Darren Pearce there you see in your picture giving instructions. He blocks them there also. Again then, while this breaking play is happening, reminder that if you can get to Swansea.com Stadium tomorrow, I would advise it, because Cardiff City women are down there and they're playing exceptionally well at the moment. So they look to challenge for the league title this year, top of the league as we speak. And then, of course, next Saturday, championship action returns. Cardiff City making the trip to the Potteries to take on Stoke City. Rather got out of the habit, Tom, of Saturday football, I must admit.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks off, isn't it?
Harkin is still receiving treatment. Wolves will play with 10 at the moment, but we will restart. Harkin looks good to continue, so he'll come on when the referee signals, which indeed he does. Last 5.5 minutes of the first half, but there have been a couple of stoppages which should see 2 or 3 minutes added on as Morrison steps in well there, wins the ball, gives it back to McNamara. Here's Nelson making ground, gives it wide to Tom Davis. Cardiff looking to draw that press. It's a nice run from Lee, breaking the lines, and Nelson, has he found him? Lee is fighting to try and keep this in. Thought it might have gone out on a couple of occasions, but officials say no. Wolves say yes. Cardiff have the throw in. We'll take that in a week of interesting decisions.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if we have quite the same angle as the Japan match had.
Davis will take the throw in into Wigley. Ball just bounced up on him a little. He's looking to put pressure on, but he fouls Coletta in putting that pressure on, and Wolves will have an easy release ball.
Didn't seem to be much in that from the replay, at least.
Sandergaard clears long, but Morrison should win that. Pritchard wins the second header as well, feeding it forward to Lee. Lee with the improvised over-the-shoulder hooked pass. Wigley puts enough pressure on that Cardiff will have to throw in. Davis goes down the line to Wigley, who drifted off and made some good space, and it's a lovely touch and go. He's into the area now. Can he pick a pass? Oh, just didn't know whether to release or continue to drive. And I think number 5, Mabete there, just put him under enough pressure. Good recovery tackle from Mabete that it caught out Wigley. But again, a lovely touch and go from Wigley, using his pace, and Cardiff have a throw in as a result. Although they don't make great use of that, as Nelson sends it straight out. And that'll be a throw into Wolves. But Wigley, when he turns on those afterburners, he's got a good turn of pace.
He really does, and you know, it's unfortunate there that they're able to make that recovery tackle, that slight touch, which just takes the ball off him. You know, it looked like at least 3 City bodies run into that area. Good little overlap, but we need them to click, I think, if we want to get back into this match with an equaliser.
Isaac Davis gives it to Lee. Lee tries to find Wigley. It's just taken off his toe. The ball was behind him. And it's back with Sandergaard. As we approach the final minutes of this first half, Wolves will be delighted to be 1 goal in front. It's not been a game of huge quality. Occasionally punctuated by good moments, particularly the Wolves goal. I think Cardiff will be relatively happy, although Darren Pearce clearly wants more from his players. A little bit of head tennis at the moment. Good win by McNamara. Wolves eventually bring the ball down and have control of it. Ball out to Harkin, who looks fully recovered. Tries to turn the ball down the line with the outside of his right foot, where perhaps a left foot pass might have been the better option. The ball drifts out for a throw into Cardiff. Semenyo flicks on. Lee is beaten in the air though. And Wolves, well, they look to spread the ball from left to right, but there was a slip, and maybe Cardiff can exploit that. There is room on the left-hand side. That pass is heavy though from Antwi. Even Wigley, with all his pace, can't keep up with that. So that's a throw into Wolves. And Cardiff, if they're not going to get a lot of opportunities, Tom, when the ball does fall their way, they've got to be a bit more clinical.
I think you're right. It's I'd say you could probably summarise this first half as being fine margins being the difference in a lot of cases for City. Overhit pass here or there, you know, it's kind of got in the way of a good couple of chances for City, unfortunately.
Ball goes long, Morrison, well, that'll be meat and drink to him. And Cardiff pick up the secondary ball, they can't. Wolves tied that up quite well. Here's Harkin once more. Semenyo, decent positioning, starting position. Although he does eventually give away the foul. Referee took an awfully long time to decide on that, but Wolves will have the free kick just inside their own half. Fourth official is about to put the board up, and it will be 4 minutes of additional time. There have been a couple of stoppages. Cardiff need to stay switched on now and not concede a second before half-time. Good win by McNamara. Good win also in there by Pritchard. The Wolves are just stepping forward here. And they do have an overload on the far post. Ball doesn't get there. Antwi does enough. Morrison tidies up and the ball is back with Turner. Here's Nelson, gives it to Davis in flight. Davis will keep the ball moving down the line. Good idea. Cardiff get a throw in. Coletta had to put that ball into touch. Can Cardiff generate a scoring chance prior to the end of the half? Ball will come to McNamara. He has a release ball to Semenyo. Decides to use him as a decoy. He's very cool under pressure, McNamara. The pass isn't great, but again, you can see instincts of a really good footballer there. Sandergaard takes his time. He'll kick it long, hanging. Morrison wins. Not going to get a lot of change out of Sean Morrison with those long direct balls. Isaac Davis will put pressure on, attempting to force any kind of turnover, but actually under pressure, Keto Diawa does well enough. Davis stays with him. Good battle. Eventually a throw into Wolves. Isaac Davis looks busy out there.
Really does. Great effort from him, isn't it? Just to keep that press, he might have, you know, he might have shown a bit of tiredness and given that up, but he did well there just to put it out and keep the territory up for City.
Ball down the line, but will come the way of Morrison. Going back to something like the 2017-18 haircut. Got so used to seeing him with the long tied back hair. Good press from Antwi, but Wolves marshalling the ball quite well. And in fact, they'll get a foul. And a shout of Jack there from the Cardiff City bench. Maybe he didn't activate his press in line with Antwi. These fine margins that Tom was referring to. Ball forward. Morrison once more will just head away. Wolves really need to avoid him when they're putting the ball into a advanced area. That's a foul by Nelson, who stepped out, but a little needless there. And Wolves will have a free kick from a direct position, or a central position, I should say, midway inside the Cardiff half. Can they generate a chance prior to the half-time whistle? There's a little bit of disagreement about who's going to take this and what the run should be. It's a set-piece move. It's a nice move, in fact. And they might get a secondary chance. Wolves, ball forward. Morrison heads away. But it is cleared eventually by Pritchard. Cardiff don't have anyone there to link with. So Wolves will have secondary ball, although they turn it all the way back to Sandergaard. Dying moments, dying embers of this first half as Sandergaard goes long. McNamara takes responsibility on that occasion. There is the half-time whistle. Well, closely fought, no quarter arse, none given. The One moment of real quality came from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Nice link-up play between Fabian Reynolds and Fraser Harper. Harper, the goal scorer, you'll see that in the clutch of replays we'll have momentarily. I think Darren Pearce will be rather annoyed about the fact that Harper was allowed to drift into the box and didn't have a blue shirt anywhere near him, particularly as the cross from Reynolds didn't happen immediately. It was rather delayed. But for all you might criticise Cardiff's defensive play on the goal, you have to tip your hats to a moment of quality, and that was lovely touch and hit from Harper, as you can see there. And that's the difference between the two sides at the moment. Isaac Davis with the best chance for Cardiff City, cutting across the box, putting the shot back from the way the keeper had just come from. And actually it forced a very good save from Sandergaard. This is the moment now that you're seeing on your screens. Davis did everything right, but it's a good fingertip save from Sandergaard. Aside from that, there were moments, Tom, but I imagine both managers, both teams will want to improve the quality in the second half.
Yeah, I think you're right there. They may rue some missed chances, won't they? But it's just a matter, I think, of getting really settled into the second half now and making sure that they're not making those little mistakes, because little mistakes do eventually, you know, they snowball, and that they can result in us being 1-0 down at half-time as we are. I think, I don't think you can really complain about the scoreline. Wolves deserved their goal when they got it, but at the same time City could have potentially pressed a bit harder or just combined a bit better and got one back from their own.
Well, they will need to get one back. We will see what the second half brings. Join us again in around about 12-15 minutes time for second half coverage. But for the moment, at half time, it's Cardiff City 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Warm welcome back to an increasingly cold Cardiff International Sports Stadium. The lights are on. Cardiff also have a new player on as well. They've made a substitution. Isaac Davis just getting 45 minutes for the Bluebirds on his way back from injury. And Gabriel Biancheri has come on. Prolific goal scorer under 18 level. You might have seen him get a couple of goals against Bristol recently. No other changes. No changes in the commentary box either. John Donovan, Tom Hopkins. We are underway. Cardiff playing from right to left. Wolves begin this second half with a 1-goal advantage. Fraser Harper, the goal scorer. Cardiff did okay in that first half, but they'll need to be more of a cutting edge in the second. As we settle in for what should be a good cup tie in this second period. Wolves immediately looking to make ground down the right-hand side, crossing opportunity into the box. A decent whip ball. McNamara felt he had to leave it. Harper couldn't get there for Wolves. The ball runs out for a goal kick, but a promising start from the away side, who really drifted off a little bit after scoring the goal. Allowed Cardiff to rather dominate possession. The Bluebirds didn't do a huge amount with it. Biancheri's first contribution is to try and run in behind Mabete, but he slips at the crucial moment. Cardiff will look to pick up second ball as Antwi headers forward, flicked on by Wigley, but cleared away once more by Mabete. Antwi heads to Lee. Lee flicks on, goes to Mabete again. It's a reoccurring pattern at the moment. Antwi nips in, makes a tackle. Wolves play out well, and now they've released Hadnet. Hadnet kept it going to the left-hand side. Ball into the box from the left-hand side. Nelson needed to get there. He did. Ball is still bouncing around. In the end, will go out for a goal kick. But Jack Hadnet there showed very good feet to release the ball through midfield and get it out to the left-hand side. Wolves have started this second half on the front foot. Looking to press a little higher, particularly on Cardiff's wing-backs. Morrison will come out to claim that. We'll give it wide to McNamara. Cardiff playing in that wing-back formation, 3 centre-halves. I'll run you through the team again in a moment, if you haven't been with us from the start. And following that substitution, Sandergaard, who was good in the first half, clears away into the ever-darkening sky. Wolves now looking to make ground down the left-hand side. That ball is kept in by Harkin. Crossing opportunity once more. A little over hit, will drift out. Will be a goal kick to Cardiff City. So that team in full for the Bluebirds now. Matt Turner in goal. 3 centre-halves, Aidan McNamara, Sean Morrison and Curtis Nelson. Wing-backs, Jay Semenyo and Tom Davis. Midfield holding 2 of Owen Pritchard and also Cameron Antwi, with Jack Lee just ahead of them. And up top now, Morgan Wigley and substitute number 12, Gabriel Biancheri. Wolves are unchanged. But certainly they've started more aggressively in this second half, particularly in terms of their press, far higher, and not allowing Cardiff to have easy release ball, particularly in wide areas, although Davis does well to skip away there. It's a good tackle, though, in the middle of the park. That time from Sikluma. And Tom, important that Cardiff just maybe withstand this early initiative from Wolves, and then when they do get possession, they have to be more clinical.
Yeah, certainly. It's well, as we said, you know, we don't want to repeat what happened in the first half, where we missed a couple of chances and inevitably allowed them to get one in. I think City will want to have started this second half strong, you know, and eventually try to get a win after an equaliser. I imagine it's one of them where Darren Pearce and his team will certainly want to get all 3 points available.
Goes back with goalkeeper Turner, rolls it wide to McNamara, looks comfortable with the ball at his feet. Semenyo under pressure quickly. Wolves really looking to stem Cardiff in those wide areas, those wing-back areas. Well, Cardiff have managed to break that press, and it's a good searching ball to find Biancheri. He's in. Can he make it count? It's great work, and it's a good save Well, he would not give up on that, even when the defender looked favourite. Looks like a natural goal scorer, Bianchetti. Opened up his body, found the shooting chance, and it had to be a good save from Sandergaard as Cardiff come again. But already I can feel myself underlining the name of Gabriel Bianchetti to work not just this afternoon, to watch not just this afternoon, but in the coming weeks, months and years. That looked like the break and shot of a natural goal scorer. It's a good ball that found him, but that bounce was difficult, and it looked like he had two defenders around him, but his strength was good, his composure was good, found the area to shoot, as we'll break off as Wolves come again, and Harper breaking the lines. It's forced out wide though. Far more energetic start to the second half. The Wolves have a throw in. Fourth official is ready with his board, so I wonder whether we're about to see another substitute. We are indeed, and it's going to be a Cardiff substitute. Can't quite see who it is at the moment. Well, it's number 15, Isaac Jeffries. Keep an eye on who he comes on for, a forward-thinking player. I think perhaps Lee or Wigley, perhaps. So the ball is back with Mabete. He's under pressure, good pressure from Bianchetti, who has made quite the significant impact since coming on as a substitute. Morrison cuts that ball out, but can only turn it over to a Wolves player. Morrison will step in once more. Semenyo had held his position, which meant there wasn't a release ball to the right wing back. Here's Nelson, gives it to Davis. Again, Davis under pressure. Wolves looking to stem the tide there, and that was good work there from Fabian Reynolds. And now Wolves can break into the Cardiff half on this left-hand side with Harkin. Harkin cuts it back, floats a ball in. There's a free header there, perhaps. No, it's just over the head of Zanyu He there. Nelson cleared away, but it was a lovely searching cross. And Wolves look to put another ball into the box now, do they? Well, they go square. Here's Hodnet. Hodnet keeps the ball moving to the left-hand side, but it's a poor pass, and Semenyo will break away, but it was a good recovery tackle there by Keto Diawa. We're going a little fast and furious end-to-end at the moment. You just feel that Wolves might have more of a cutting edge, and they have a chance now to whip the ball across the box. Morrison had to go to ground and make that block, and he does. He sends it behind for a corner, but it was a nice ball into the left-hand attacking channel. Still Cardiff wait to make their substitution, but it's been a very entertaining start to the second half.
Yeah, it really has, isn't it? Back and forth it goes. City, I think, having probably the best chance of the lot so far with their Biancheri's shot, but nonetheless, you know, Wolves are still threatening up the other end. Up the other end.
Isaac Jeffries just told to put the bib back on. So Darren Pearce is pausing on that substitute for a moment. Wolves take a short corner. There is an angle. They rotate their players. And in the end, it's a ball into the box, which will come to the far post. The chance for a shot. A goal is deflected off Nelson, and will be a corner kick. Came to centre half Cam Candola there. Decent first touch, and he controlled the shot. Nelson had to get in the way.
Did well, Nelson, there, to be fair. Kept his arms down, which was important as well. Didn't want to give away some sort of awkward handball there.
Yeah, good control and shot from the centre half. Nelson did well. Corner kick to Wolves. That's drilled towards the far post. Not sure anyone's getting to that. Not quite sure what the plan was there. Cardiff won't care, they have a goal kick. And now Cardiff will make their substitution. Isaac Jeffries will come on. And it's actually Owen Pritchard coming off. And I think that, again, is just minutes in the tank. Owen Pritchard, I thought, played very well in the first half. Good to see him back as he throws the captain's armband to Cameron Antwi. It's not going to Sean Morrison. Antwi will wear it. Good to see Owen Pritchard back. He's got 54 and a bit minutes in his tank. We'll look forward to seeing more of him. And Isaac Jeffries will come on to take his place in the middle of the park. Here is his first touch, Jeffries. Ball gets caught in his feet a little, but he manages to get it forward to Wigley. Wigley gave the ball away on that occasion. Wolves can come back. Great recovery tackle by Antwi. I think he's been good today. Morrison, a tired pass. Tom Davis has to get back. It's all a bit messy, but it'll be settled down by Matt Turner. I wonder whether Sean Morrison's got 90 minutes in his tank after he recovers from, or continues his recovery from a long, long spell on the sidelines. Cardiff do have Jack Clay on the bench, who could perhaps come in and play that centre-half position. Good burst of pace by Wigley. He'll continue to drive. Lee wants the ball. Wigley will drive to the outside, though. Is he isolating himself a bit too much? Well, no, he continues to go. Does ever so well. Lee puts it back across. Goal! Has the chance gone? Here's Antwi. Doesn't want to hit it first time. Gives it back out to Semenyo. We'll have to see the replay there, whether Lee could have gone for goal. Maybe the ball was hanging on him a little bit, but I thought he was going to header at goal. Cardiff come again. Here's Davis. Nelson. Oh, it's a little bit of an impact injury there. He kicked through the studs. Looks to be okay. Cardiff will have to throw in, but Tom, lovely move there. I thought Wigley may have isolated himself. He actually did ever so well, but could Jack Lee head it on goal there?
I think he made the right choice, to be honest with you, not going. It seemed to me that Sandgaard had it covered if he had gone for it, and it was a good idea to get a pass off, I think. You know, it probably was a little unexpected, but...
Beautiful tackle there from Mabet. Just as Lee thought he was in full flight. Well, we'll wait to see the replay. But I wonder whether it was hanging a bit on Lee. But certainly I was anticipating him trying to head for goal. Whatever the case, Cardiff created a decent chance, and credit to Morgan Wigley there. They've created two good chances in this second half, the Bluebirds. That's one more than the first half. Morrison again, a little tired perhaps, gives the ball away. And Wolves now have a chance to slide it down the left-hand side of the area. It's a good covering tackle by McNamara, as Zenu, he thought he may have been in, as we'll see that replay of that piercing break from Cardiff. Morgan Wigley, well, I liked it here, Tom. He continued to drive, and I thought that was good. I wonder whether he could have released the pass. He thought no, and he went to the outside. And then your thoughts on this header?
It's a good ball, isn't it? I don't know. I think in hindsight, yeah, he probably should have gone for goal. Initially, when I first saw it, I thought that it was covered, but maybe not.
Perhaps to give him the benefit of that. As that shot comes in, nice technique from Hodnet. Wide of the goal, though. To give Lee the benefit of that, maybe just hanging on him slightly. Felt perhaps he couldn't generate the power to beat the goalkeeper. As we see that replay, Hodnet has got good technique when he kicks through the ball. Here's Nelson. There's a long ball which will be met by Lebete. Feeds it forward into midfield to Skikluna. Good tackle there. Excellent tackle by substitute Jeffries. Allows Cardiff to win the ball back. And so he played into a little bit of trouble, but it'll come to Davis. Ball down the line is cut out. Cardiff will have a throw in. So we approach the hour mark. Still 1-0 to Wolves. But Cardiff have created chances in this second half, which is good to see. Davis wants someone other than Antwi, who's well marshalled. Nelson has given the ball away. Cardiff getting a little bit careless towards the edge of their own box. Wolves have worked that well, but that space was just taken away from Hod net by a mixture of McNamara and Jeffries, and McNamara's done ever so well, makes good ground, won't get the benefit of the throw-in. Unfortunate there for McNamara, who I thought did ever so well. Maybe Curtis Nelson, Sean Morrison just looking a little bit tired at the moment. The distribution from the back hasn't been particularly good in the last few moments. Well, it is, of course, just good to see Sean Morrison back on a football field in a Cardiff City shirt. Good win by Davis, but can't find a Bluebirds player. Lee leads the press for Cardiff and does enough that they won control of that ball. Antwi is fouled and the Bluebirds will have a free kick. Semenya. I've seen a great deal of him in this second half. Links with Biancheri. Biancheri just muscled out of that, but his work great. Tenacious. He is very young at this age group. First touch out of the feet by Reynolds. Tries to get the better of Nelson. Nelson does well, good body strength. Wolves just calling their first substitution back, so we'll keep an eye on that. They will be changing their starting 11 momentarily. Jeffries gives it wide to McNamara. Cardiff looking to break that press in the wide areas by moving their wide centre halves further left and further right to try and get their wing backs higher up the pitch, but no wing back, no player would have caught that ball. Poor pass and out for a throw into Wolves dead on halfway. Ball is back with Sandergaard. Heavy touch allows Cardiff to win that back. Jeffries, nice, opened up his body, plays it forward. Here's Tom Davis. Davis, can he hang a ball up to the far post? Just maybe took a little bit too long about his decision there, and the attempted cross is charged down. Nelson headers it to himself. Good cushioned header. Now he needs to find some sort of pass. Will win the throw-in. But Jeffries has looked bright since coming on. A couple of times I've seen him. I think he's an intelligent football player. Good balance, can break the lines. Antwi hangs a ball up, which will give Semenya something to chase. Sandergaard just about knew where his 18-yard box was. Claims it and bowls it out. The Wolves look to come down their left-hand side once more through Keto Diawa. .62 minutes gone. Wolves will shortly bring in on Connor McLeod. I don't know whether it might be for Zenu, who hasn't had a great amount of change of Morrison, Nelson and McNamara this afternoon. Lee, good ball into the box, and Biancheri, as good strikers do, got across his man in the end. Candola did just about enough. But you said to me at half-time, Tom, Biancheri, natural goal scorer. He looks every inch that.
Really does, doesn't he? It's obviously a step up for him this afternoon against the 21s. But he's been doing very well in the 18s so far this season. And, definitely he's been brought on at half-time, hasn't he? He's done really well. 2 good chances. Just outdone slightly by his marker on both times.
It's actually Fabian Reynolds, the man who was the architect of the first goal, the only goal so far, who will be coming off. So Reynolds replaced by Connor McLeod, first substitution for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But sometimes you just can't teach goal-scoring instincts. You know, this has been a conversation at men's first team level. Lots of good, different types of strikers, but maybe not a natural goal scorer amongst them. And you do just see traits in a natural goal scorer that's slightly different. The runs they make, their instincts when to go, when not to. Again, I'm not always sure those can be taught, but even in these early glances at Biancheri, he does look like somebody who just has that instinct. Morrison clears long. That will go out for a throw into Wolves, just inside the Cardiff half. will spread the game to this near side. Antwi will get in there, takes the first touch on the knee and just about gets it forward to Wigley, who protects the ball well and now can look to drive away from his man. He does, he's going towards the touchline, gets a ball across the goal, and Biancheri there again, and once more he was in front of his man, but once more Candola did just about enough. And Sandegard is able to make the claim, but Wigley and Biancheri are giving Wolves problems. Morrison marshals his man out. That will be a goal kick to Cardiff. Well, we see this chance again, Tom. It's all about Wigley's pace once more, protecting the ball, making the run. Well, Wigley it was to Lee, of course. But Biancheri looking to make that outside to inside run, which is really good. Yeah,
it's just well read, isn't it, that cross? Half a second in it, and Biancheri's putting it away.
It's his movement I really like so far. Here's Jeffries. He's added something as well. Keeps it going to Wigley, who's forever the willing runner. Cleared away. Cardiff maybe with a little bit more pace in the final third. Ball down the line, but it was difficult for Wigley to control. It was a heavy pass, and that will come back the way of Wolverhampton Wanderers as they look to play through midfield. Here's goal scorer Harper, and McLeod just about kept himself onside, did he? Yes, assistant referee's flag stays down. Here is the substitute. Puts a whip ball in. It wasn't a bad ball, just no gold shirt in the box. Easy claim for Matt Turner. Well, Tom, obviously in terms of academy categories, Wolves are above Cardiff, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're streets ahead.
No, based on this performance, I don't think you can really say that. City have more than held their own, and I think are unfortunate not to be on the score sheet themselves so far.
It's about taking your chances when they come, though, and maybe Wolves just have the great announce when it comes to that. This is a chance, although the offside flag does go up. It was a nice break through midfield, led by Dylan Skikluna. McLeod just went a little early, so it wouldn't have counted, but that was good from the number 4. Morrison it was who was drawn out of position, but I think the assistant referee got that just about right.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was McNamara was the last man, and managed to just hold up just about enough that he caught him offside.
So, free kick restart to the Bluebirds, which Matt Turner will take. High hanging kick. Nelson and Antwi are able to wrestle back possession. Here's Davis. Davis down the line. Decent ball. Wigley, can he get the little nick? Well, he was putting a lot of pressure on Mabete there, who had to stretch to turn it out. Nice weight of ball by Tom Davis, who I think has done himself no harm in this game. Senior men's team with that unfortunate injury to Jamalu Collins at West Brom haven't necessarily always had the balance they would want in that left wing back position. Tom Davis perhaps coming back into consideration. I think he's been good today.
Yeah, he's been very good, Tom Davis, isn't he? He's a player who's grown in confidence. I think he's another one of those players who's young even at under 21 level. But yeah, today I think he has been one of the star performers for City, and hopefully that can continue now for the last 20 or so minutes.
Antwi puts, well, I thought good pressure on. In the end, the referee judges that he committed a foul on McLeod. Antwi is another one who hasn't shirked any responsibility this afternoon, and maybe the execution of the pass needs to become a little better, but there's a lot of upside to his game. It's a good clearance by Sandegard, and McNamara had to watch it the whole way, which he did. Ball now is back with Sean Morrison, who keeps it moving wide to the left-hand side to Curtis Nelson. Nelson into midfield to Antwi, who always provides that release ball. Although, again, that pass, a little overhit for Sean Morrison. The veteran in complete control, though. Did see down in the concourse at half-time, Joe Rulls is here, club captain, also watching his best mate, Sean Morrison. providing that support. Throw into Cardiff, midway inside their own half, which Tom Davis will take. Women's manager Ian Derbyshire is just leaving the stand. He's got a very big game tomorrow. South Wales derby. Morrison goes long. He was caught as he played that ball and looks a little uncomfortable, but it's the Wolves striker Zanuhi who looks more uncomfortable. I think Morrison kicked through the Wolves man just as he made that pass. The free kick will be Cardiff City's. Morrison is back up, but the Wolves player looks in a little bit of discomfort. Seeing the replay now, Tom, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's a bit late, isn't it, from the Wolves player on Morrison. But somehow he's managed to hit himself while doing it.
He's receiving treatment. It is a painful one when perhaps you take a, you're not prepared, you're not braced, and maybe someone kicks through you, or you take a stud perhaps on the follow through. So the benefit of the doubt to the Wolves player who is down, receiving treatment. Again, gives a chance for both sets. Looks like Wolves are preparing another substitution. Number 15, Don Plank, is the man I can just see through the perspex glass there in the technical area, who will shortly be coming on. Maybe they're just delaying this to see if Zanuhi can continue. He's received treatment, he's off the pitch, he'll be waved on now by the referee, but Cardiff have the ball. There's Semenyo in the right wing back position. Back to Jeffries. He gives it to Antwi, who uses Nelson, who made the pitch big there. Wolves, though, are compact, and they've gone back to that mid to low block. Maybe just now looking to see this game out. Still, you think with added time, 20 plus minutes left. Cardiff don't make the most of that opportunity, though, and it will give a chance for Wolves to make it their substitution. And it's Dylan Cicluna who is coming off. Cardiff also will be making a further change with Carl Kenneford coming on, but first of all it's the Wolves substitution. Don Plank. Well, no, actually, I think hold that thought, because Plank is still sitting on the bench, and I think the substitution has been delayed, as has been the Cardiff substitution. So we are expecting changes. They just didn't happen quite then. Here's McLeod, who has come on, I can tell you that. Coletta drives inside and continues to go. This is good from the right back. In the end, he's just stopped in flight and the ball is cleared away. And it was just a change in the player coming off, and it is Zanuhi who will be coming off, the number 9 for Wolves, still replaced by Don Plank, who's been ready for the last few moments. We shall see who perhaps takes that central striking position for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Not sure Don Plank is that player, maybe playing with a false 9. But Wolves have made their change. Cardiff still wait to bring Kenneford on, who continues to warm up. Nelson heads away, comes back to Coletta. He turns away from Lee, gives it back to Mabete. Good press there from McNamara, who is another who's really stood out to me today. Looks an athletic, composed, either centre half or maybe a full-back, wing-back also. Ball forward, good pressure from Biancheri, allows Cardiff to turn that over. Nelson down the line to the young substitute. He tries to link back with Nelson, continued his run. This is decent. Can Davis get on the end of that into the area? Tries to put a cross across the 6-yard box. will get a corner kick as a result of it. Curtis Nelson did well there, and more contributions from Gabriel Biancheri, and Tom Davis continues to play well at left wing back.
Yeah, very good there from Nelson. You know, he teased at the spaces behind Biancheri, so when he's given the ball to him, he's saying, hold it and give it back to me. Well won corner kick there as well. Tom Davis did well.
Lee will take the corner kick. It's deep towards the far post. Morrison is up, headers towards goal. Wolves just about clear it away. It'll come to Jeffries, trying to make an angle for a cross. He does, but the cross isn't great, and Wolves will clear away from the man who's still on the field, Dylan Skikluna. Although he is now limping after making that clearance. Ball is back with Turner. He gives it to Semenyo. Just seen a nice pack thrown to Zenu He on the Wolves bench, so nursing something from that contact with Morrison. Morrison gives it wide to Nelson. He gives it to Lee. Lee's been neat and tidy today, but we haven't seen a great deal of him, perhaps. Seen him be more impactful in previous games. Jeffries is beaten to that ball, but Cardiff gain ground, and they'll have a throw in on the far side, approaching the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Well, the sun has set, and there's a noticeable temperature drop here at Cardiff International Sports Stadium. Hopefully we'll have something to warm the cockles in the remaining 15 minutes if you're a Cardiff City fan. Still, though, it's Wolverhampton Wanderers who have the lead. They've held that lead for quite some time now, given to them by Fraser Harper. And they're looking to perhaps add more now. That's a good ball forward to Plank. Plank cuts back across Morrison to the edge of the box, trying to make room for a shot. Did well enough, and the deflection means Turner has to make an acrobatic save and tip it over the bar. Good save from the goalkeeper, but excellent ball control there by Don Plank. He generated the chance for himself. The deflection aided him, but he forced a good save out of Matt Turner.
Yeah, again, you know, it's just quick passing from Wolves. I mean, they can advance up the pitch. Cuts in well here, to be fair to him. Takes a shot on himself. It's a very unfortunate deflection for Matt Turner to have to put away, but he tips it over the bar well.
Corner kick to Wolves. They play it short, looking to work a different angle, set piece routine. Shooting opportunity perhaps from the edge of the box, or they keep it moving wide to the left-hand side. Now back across the box, and Davis deals with it well at the far post. And Turner will claim he had no fears that was a pass back. And he bowls it out to McNamara. 77.5 minutes gone. Can Cardiff generate another chance that they will need to get back on level terms? Wolves seemingly have just withstood the momentum and now are looking to make use of space in behind. Good tackle from McNamara, needed to be, as Plank drove at him once more. Surely a foul on McNamara. Referee, well, he's not even signalling advantage, so it was just going to be a play on anyway. Biancheri marshalled well on that occasion by Babete, who just gave himself a little bit of room, a good starting position. Good read by Semenyo. Headers it forward, Babete... just for a moment, I thought Biancheri was behind both Babete and Candola, but the assistant referee's flag went up. Unfortunate, because Semenyo did a lot of work to get there. But yes, I think the assistant referee was correct with that decision. Sean Morrison continues his return in a Bluebirds shirt. He's got through 77 plus minutes. He comes off. Cardiff have gone to a back four, and on comes Kyle Kenneford. Nelson now goes to the right centre half, McNamara to left. Cardiff perhaps with an extra body in midfield. But, Sean Morrison noticeably tired perhaps in the second half, but just did Sean Morrison things, really. Was pretty strong throughout, and continues to be a huge presence every time he takes the field for Cardiff City. is Semenya. He's got room to move into as, again, Wolves with that mid-block, not advancing too high, too far. Wigley tries to get down the right-hand side. He's been a willing runner all day, the number 11. Jeffries turns it back to Semenya. Cardiff will probably try and spread the game as Wolves prepare to bring on Caden Voice, the number 14. Well, that pass is away from Lee. Lee just hasn't really been able to get into this game today. As Wolves find Plank, who's been lively as the left wide player since coming on. But that ball could be turned over. Oh, Wolves just about get away with it. In fact, they might do better than that. They've broken the press well. Sean Morrison makes his way to the dressing room below us. And a clutch of fans will go over for a fist bump with the former Cardiff City captain. Wolves just maintaining possession well, maybe taking the sting out of this game a little. Ball to the right-hand side. It's flicked on by Coletta, but just out of the running angle of McLeod on that occasion. Cardiff, though, they've given an opportunity for Plank to maybe turn the ball over. His touch was heavy, goes out for a goal kick. And Wolves will make that substitution with goal scorer Fraser Harper coming off to be replaced by Caden Voice. So Harper is the difference maker right now, and Tom, is incumbent upon Cardiff City. They've got to take the mantle in this game. They've got to create a chance. Wolves right now, I'd say in the last 10 minutes, managing this game pretty well.
They are, aren't they? But at the same time, as it stands, it's still a slender lead for them. So you need to find that, you know, that final pass now and just get through on goal again. We threatened earlier, you know, the start of the second half, and now we just need to make sure that we can do so again in the last 10 or so minutes of play.
Cardiff will move it to the left-hand side and give it to Davis. He will drive back across field, makes a little bit of room for himself. Gives it to Lee. Lee, clip ball, decent idea, but ball's taken off the head of Biancheri. Cardiff will pick up second phase ball, though, and a chance to attack the right-hand side of the box. There is an overlap, ball in. Good charge down from the Wolves defender. It's a shame, though. Cardiff had numbers in the box on that occasion. Wolves, though, have done ever so well once more to break the press. Semenya steps in, makes a tackle he had to, as otherwise Hodnett would have been away. But Wolves just starting to look maybe a little bit more streetwise as they try and see out this game with 7.5 minutes left plus stoppage time. Hodnett clears forward. Nelson will have to deal with it on the bounce. Antwi helps him out. Gets the ball back from McNamara. That was good. Antwi gives it to Davis. He's got no option down the line and could never quite get the ball under his feet. He needs McNamara to help him out. Davis sells McNamara a little short again. It's been the worst 20 seconds for Tom Davis all afternoon. He's been very good. He eventually makes a tackle and sends the ball forward. That was a little bit ragged from the number 3, who otherwise has been excellent. Good first touch from Jeffries. Needed the covering tackle. It's cleared away. Cardiff will have a throw in, but there is a Wolves player down after that clutch of tackles involving Davis and McNamara. It was all a little messy. And the Wolves player is, I think, feeling that right ankle or right shin. A little bit of discomfort. Wolves have used 3 substitutes. We'll see a replay of the difference maker between the two sides at the moment. It's just this moment, Tom, when ball is picked up by Reynolds. It's not an instant cross, so for me, whilst it's a goal of great quality, Cardiff need to get bodies back around the player who's made the run into the box.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's just one small mistake which may end up costing us all the points here, or rather, point if we were to be level. But as I said in the first half, you know, it's the fine margins, isn't it, that make the difference in the end.
Well, this injury is proving a little bit of a cause for concern. The paramedics are on standby. It will, of course, result in a further amount of stoppage time at the end of this game. Oh, it's good to see the Wolves player getting back to his feet under his own steam. So see another replay. This was the almost instant impact of Biancheri. Good save from Sandergaard. The young striker has looked lively. There have been more goalmouth incidents and goalmouth chances, action in this second half. This was a good, very cultured centre-half chance, as Candola brought that down well, got a shot on goal which Nelson had to block. Wolves momentarily down to 10 men. I think the referee is just about happy that play can continue. So we're into the last 5 minutes of normal time. Here's Kenneford, gives it to Semenyo. Semenyo hangs the ball into the box. Biancheri is there, misses it. It should come to Lee. Lee, he puts it. It's neither one thing or the other there, and there's a ball forward and a one-on-one battle. Harkin up against McNamara. McNamara does ever so well. Fouled, I thought. Hand across his neck. The throw-in should go Cardiff's way. McNamara did well there in the one-on-one battle against Harkin. Again, just a little bit of frustration there from Jack Lee. When he's got on the ball, he hasn't affected the game as we've seen him do previously. That's a lovely ball from Kenneford out wide to Jeffries. Jeffries now, he can whip a ball in. Davis is there on the far post. It'll come to him. He headers back across goal. There's only one man in there, though, and the ball goes away from Wigley. Unfortunate for Cardiff, they had two decent crossing opportunities there and perhaps didn't make the most of them. As Semenyo blows a tyre and trips on the blue running track around Cardiff International Sports Stadium. That's a painful one. McNamara angled ball, but puts far too much on that, and that will be comfortable for Sandergaard. Indications from the Wolves bench that they want their goalkeeper to slow it down, and they were a little frustrated he didn't on that occasion. But Wolves have control of the ball. That will be offside. McLeod went too early, decides not to chase that ball in, so it will go for a goal kick to Cardiff City. And you start to wonder, as agricultural as it is, whether in the last few moments you might see Curtis Nelson move further forward to try and win more first ball for Cardiff City. Ball round the corner to Biancheri, who holds it up well. Wins the throw-in. Can Cardiff create, conjure one more chance prior to the end of this game? Here's Kenneford. Gives the ball wide to McNamara. McNamara steps to the outside and plays a nice thread-the-needle ball, which had to be defended there by Mabete. I do think McNamara is a good footballing centre-half. I know I've said that all day, but Cardiff, looks like they want to play that way throughout the club now, and I think McNamara has talent when he gets on the ball. Wolves are on the ball now, and they have a runner in the left-hand channel which they can activate. That was Hodnet, but it was good covering from Semenyo, good starting position, and he gets Cardiff out of trouble. Feeds Jeffries. Jeffries to Kenneford. Kenneford on the stretch will concede possession. Comes to McLeod. 88.5 minutes gone. Nice ball round the corner, and Galetto can drive in, put the ball across. This is a chance, and looked like Semenyo once more did just about enough. There's bodies falling everywhere. Another Wolves player down. That was Harkin, who played the lovely ball round the corner and then got caught. I think the referee was playing advantage. Harkin is still limping. But Semenyo, twice in a matter of moments, had to be in a good covering position to save Cardiff City. Perhaps hasn't been as expressive going forward as Tom Davis, but I think Semenyo's been good defensively. Davis is taken out of the play there, and Candola can continue forward from centre half, and he goes to the outside on McNamara, and McNamara fouls him, and that will be a free kick to Wolves and allow them to take more time off the clock as we drift towards the 90-minute mark.
It's a yellow card for McNamara there. Maybe tired legs, you know, causing just a bit of a lack of focus there, unfortunately.
Free kick for Wolves. I suspect they won't put this into the box and rather will try and keep and recycle possession, take time off the clock. Well, it looks like I'm going to be hugely wrong. Indeed I am. Ball does go into the box and it's met by Antwi. Cardiff should be able to clear away. Nelson puts his foot through it. Biancheri will have to try and hold this up. Does just about enough, and Kenneford is able to hook the ball forward. Lee is beaten in the air. Hodnett, who's been impactful in this second half, gives the ball to the left-hand side. And we are into added time. Didn't see a signal from the fourth official, so we're at the discretion of the referee. But really is now or never for Cardiff City if they're going to try and get something out of this game. Antwi gives it to Davis. Davis didn't feel he could slip the ball down the line. Cardiff are quite narrow in their forward positions. Antwi comes forward, tries to thread it to Kenneford. Little over hit, and that will run to Sandergaard, and it looks like Cardiff may just be running out of ideas. One more call out for the fact that Cardiff City women are at Swansea tomorrow. I'm going to try and get down to that. It'd be nice to see a victory at the Swansea.com stadium. They've got a good chance of doing it. Although, of course, Swansea have been the top team in Welsh women's football for quite some time. And then the senior men's side back in action next Saturday. All the build-up on Cardiff City TV this week as Mark Hudson's men go to Stoke. Wolves are going towards the edge of the penalty box right now. Harkin tries the shot. It's blocked by Nelson. Been impressed with Wolves in this last 20 minutes or so. They've taken the sting fully out of Cardiff City. Now here's Lee. He goes back to Antwi. Forward to Biancheri. Tries to slip it down the line. Will get the ball back from the block tackle and now can drive towards the box. A couple of step overs, but maybe just a little naive there. Didn't get his head up. Tried to drive into a space that wasn't there, and Wolves were able to win that ball back and indeed play out, although that's a loose touch from Hodnett, which means Cardiff can press the final third once more. They do have bodies in the box. Nelson is starting to drift forward also. Here's Semenyo trying to get to the outside. Nelson has gone into the box. Cardiff have to perhaps use that by putting a ball in. Wigley, is that going to be high feet? It is. Always going to be the case when a defender lowers his head and a forward raises his boot. And that will be a free kick to Wolves. And that may just be that for Cardiff City. Well, glass half full, glass half empty, depending on how you look at it. Cardiff have acquitted themselves reasonably well, I'd say, against Category 1 Academy. But there have been moments also when you feel they perhaps could have shown more quality on the ball. And dare I say it, they were a little naive for that goal that they conceded. So, positives, but still, of course, as you'd expect at this level, much work to do. Davis throws it down the line, but it's cut out. Cardiff have made some ground, and Davis will have another throw, pretty much dead on halfway. Although he is trying to gain ground. Sent back by the referee. Nice turnout by Antwi. Feeds Wigley. Wigley tries to get it back to Antwi, but unfortunately his little flick goes out of play. That'll be a throw into Wolves. Long throw down the line. McNamara uses his body to see his man away from the ball. It wasn't the most subtle challenge I've seen all day from McNamara. Nelson's attempted ball back out to the left-hand side is behind everybody. It's all just a little messy here in the final stages. Wolves won't care. They're seeing this out. Antwi does well once more. Lee, good spread of the game on that occasion. Can Jeffries win the foot race? Well, he can't. That was good covering by Keto Diawa. That was better from Lee, though, just seeing the pitch and opening up the game. He is cutting something of a frustrated figure. Here's McNamara as night falls. Can Cardiff conjure one more chance? They cannot. Wolves have won the game by the odd goal, winning this Premier League Cup game at academy level at full time by 1-0. Cardiff huffed and puffed. They did reasonably well. There were some moments of quality, but I think in the end, Tom, on the balance of play, I have to say Wolves probably deserve their slender win.
Yeah, I think you may be right there, to be fair. It's you know, a tough one to take in it at home as well. I suppose the positive is that after some reassessment, which I'm sure they'll have afterwards and during this week, they're playing this fixture away from home next week, next Saturday. So plenty of time, I hope, to reflect and come back at it stronger, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a chance for immediate revenge or retribution. It'd be, of course, difficult going to the Black Country. There were some good performances from Cardiff City today, though. In fact, you can't really fault anybody, but I thought in the first half Tom Davis did very well, perhaps faded a little after half-time. It's good to see Owen Pritchard back on the pitch. Jay Semenyo defensively, I thought, was solid. Morgan Wigley, willing runner all day, as I've said. We've mentioned Isaac Davis and Sean Morrison. Great to see them back. But I'm going to give a little bit of a shout out to Cameron Antwi. I thought he was busy all afternoon and tried to make things happen in midfield.
Yeah, definitely. I think he did very well in the midfield, didn't he? He was always trying to be some sort of outlet for the defence and for the people in front of him as well. Won the ball back a couple of times as well and was generally very sound on the ball.
I'd add Aidan McNamara to that list as well of players I've mentioned. No one, of course, let Cardiff City down today. It was a decent performance, but maybe didn't quite have that quality in the final third. It's been an entertaining fair, though, here at Cardiff International Sports Stadium today. We'll leave you with the replays of the second half action. My thanks, as always, to Tom Hopkins for joining me on commentary. Thanks for joining me, John Donovan, and the entire Cardiff City TV team. I've given you those markers enough. Cardiff City women tomorrow, Cardiff City men's senior team next Saturday, as football is well and truly back, if indeed it ever went away, at Cardiff City Stadium. But on this cold December afternoon here at Cardiff International Sports Stadium, Wolves have come out on the right side of an odd goal win. At the full-time whistle, final score here at Cardiff International Sports Stadium, Cardiff City 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1.